Welcome to Daily Plunge. We are in the book of Joshua, chapter 6, verses 15 through 27. After 6 days of marching in a procession of prayer around the city of Jericho, on the seventh day, they marched 7 times in silent prayer. And then at the last procession, the 7th procession around, the 7 priests blow their horns. And Joshua commanded the army, shout, for the Lord has given you victory, given you the city. And they shout out, and the walls come crumbling down. The Lord has done this. It's not their marching. It's not like they caused some earthquake. The Lord has done this, and it has been a response to prayer. Now, the next thing, though, is what happens. Joshua gives the command that Rahab and all of her family are to be protected, and that everything else is devoted to God. Because this is God's victory, and it's the first fruit of what God is doing for the people of Israel. Now, verse 20 says, when the trumpet sounded, the army shouted, and the men gave a loud shout, the walls collapsed, and everyone charged straight in. And they took the city, and they destroyed everything in it. And we're shocked by this because this just offends our idea about who God is. And because of that, we engage in a number of practices to try to protect God from God's self. One is that, and this is frequent, where you'll hear commentators and other people say, well, that was the way warfare was done way back then. I don't know. It seems like warfare is still being done like that a lot in our own time. Maybe not as brutal, but pretty close. Genocide is still something that goes on in this world. So it's not just a matter of the historical nature of this. The other part of that is to engage in what's called theodicy, to explain why God is behaving like this, because this isn't the God that we know. How can God do such a thing? How can God be so ugly? And I think a couple things to understand. First, we want God to operate by our understanding. We want God to operate within the law, but we ourselves do not do this. Humanity doesn't respect life. We are murderous, maybe not each one of us, but as a race, we are definitely murderous. Why is God doing this? Because Jericho and all the other cities of Canaan are wicked and pagan. And all the things that the Israelites are told in the book of Deuteronomy and Numbers and Leviticus not to engage in, these are the very behaviors that they are engaging in. This is a wicked community where babies are burned, where rape and incest and bestiality are common, where justice and the oppression of the poor is common. And God is working out his wrath. And it is not his mercy. It is his wrath. And that's what the world gets when it does not want the cross. Well, friends, I'll talk about this again as we go through the book of Joshua. Have a blessed day.